and already the dropship up. But other than that, still not really mining this terribly effective now that SCV's coming in. So C gonna be sort of pushing a drop coming in here, just for some plain glass. A couple tanks there though, so gonna ward off this attack quite comfortably indeed. Those glass running back to the safety of the dropship. Some mines being placed here, but again the Wraith being used to spot for that tank, but they are in range of the tanks, of C's tanks, so they're gonna get taken out. But some SCVs are gonna die from this slash damage. So the drop gonna come in here, dropping those Goliaths, and indeed gonna take out these tanks. Gonna actually get sweep back up before they can really do too much damage from the SCVs. I guess he figured the forces coming in would be too dangerous, and that command center floating out to the inner 12 o'clock expansion. So both players doing the fast expand again. And indeed, as I was saying, I haven't seen that in a while, but Light taking the 9 o'clock main player spawn, I guess you call it. Not really main. Anyways, so that is smart because it's not very common, as I said, and B, it is quite protected. Even if C were to attack it, he can also take that natural directly to the south, but we'll have to see if he does that. I'm assuming he will be, because again it is protected straight through the middle, and if Light did need to defend it, he could just send the dropships essentially to the south and he'd be right at the ramp. Or he could just block it off. I don't think he'll be opting for that, because he essentially is going to just need to keep it hidden. And you see lots of turrets going up here at the natural from C, trying to keep the dropships out. I don't think he's produced any dropships yet, but Light does have at least 2. I don't even think it has starport actually. But now 3 dropships. Gonna try and force Light's hand a little bit here with the vulture mines and those tanks already set up, but the scan coming off, so definitely C, or Light rather, is going to sit heavy on these ridges and sort of watch these dropships now going into scout, or spot rather. So we're going to have a little tank standoff here, but it looks like only one's in range of C's tank, but it's not far in back. So anyways, the more factories coming in here, so definitely Light, or C rather, not going to go for the air that he has gone in the previous 2 games, and that expansion already up and the comsat going up, but that vulture is, I believe, going to come and see it. Actually no, it's going to go around, going to look through around in the middle. That lone Wraith still alive, still at very low HP, still taking out those tanks piece by piece, indeed going to get 1 kill here. Quite sloppy here from C. I know he's trying to hold the line, but he should really build at least 1 Goliath to kill, just finish off. I mean, I'm pretty sure he still has Marines though, so he could easily just take that out. But anyways, falling back to the safety of this turret, gonna leave his vulture to die, and then probably the engineering base gonna come and fire. And indeed, that vulture now finding C's base, or Light's base rather. I'm not sure why I keep getting this confused, but anyways, it seems their colors keep switching. But a drop coming in here, taking out those tanks in place down at the middle. So definitely Light coming in for an attack here. I'm going to use those dropships to spot. I'm not sure if they have any units in. The vulture's going to go around for the pincer, dropping some mines in here while these tanks ward off the attack. And actually going straight back for the natural, or the 9 o'clock. Quite clever. Going to place some mines in to stop any backup from coming in. And going to really cause some problems for these SCVs. There's essentially nothing there except SCVs. So pretty much going to lose his expansion. And Light's going to be in some big trouble, wasting a lot of resources that he poured into this. All the SCVs essentially destroyed. Not 1 vulture dying, and this base is going to essentially have to be lifted up. And so Light not going to be too happy about this, but I'm sure he's obviously expected it with the 1 vulture. And the Sun's facility already up, but the armory finally up now here, and the starport finally going up for C. So we're going to see some dropship play from him. I'm guessing he's going to be dropping in for some spider mines, dropping on those SCVs on the lines of minerals, and these tanks pushing out here. And excuse me, not too much coming on. This map is rather big, and I don't really. It's not one of my favorite, let's just say. Although everyone will be playing it unless they don't get to a game 3, but that's for another time. Well, anyways, just kind of sort of rambling here, and indeed that Goliath finally taking out that 1 Wraith, and it looks like C's gonna go back he actually defended it. He did get a dropship and did drop off Goliath, but there is that spider mine there you saw. So it'll be interesting to see any spider mine going up. Quite good micro here from C, using the spider mines to effect getting those tanks destroyed, each basically one-on-one. And I believe that was Light taking the expansion at the sort of 9 o'clock inner. I'm not sure if that's just a group of units, but it does look like an expansion. So Light having now, I'm not sure if he's taken that mineral only just outside his main, sort of to the west. I don't think he's taken, I think those are just turrets. But Light already has the base at the, was that? I'm not sure why I'm not catching this stuff here. But anyways, so he is indeed now building another one at the mineral only, right outside his base. So Light definitely with the advantage, and a drop coming in here. Gonna ward off these vultures. C being quite persistent, trying to take out this one expansion with the clever mines, but these tanks are gonna easily sweep them up before the vultures can do anything really. But they are gonna get out back to that protected natural. Gonna slow down this command center. Might have to force to cancel it, but the command center being built at the 6 o'clock position on the inner, already cancelled. SCV down. Other SCV is gonna, well, the other SCV already died, I guess. The engineering bay gonna go down. So lots of attacking and pushing and drops here. So quite an interesting match. But I'm not sure who will take the advantage. It is quite even. I'm not sure how many bases each other has. There are a lot of units sprawled all across. And you see that science facility just floating out. And indeed, that mineral only at the 6 o'clock position. I can't remember the last time I've seen a match where this many expansions have been taken. I mean, there was a match recently in the MSL that I covered, Savior and whoever he played, Best, I think it was, yes, where Savior took 4 bases as well as doing a sort of proxy hatch build, but it wasn't too effective. But other than that, most players generally just take the natural, and if they're Zerg, they'll maybe take a 3rd position and basically play the game out there. And you see some clever Goliath bombs going off here. I'm thinking Light was more of going for hoping that C would unsiege his tanks, knowing that the bombs would be coming, and these units now coming in from the north would sweep them up without any trouble. But he did have the drops in, and more vulture play here from C. I'm not sure if they've been too terribly effective, although they did ward off the tanks. Well, his siege tanks could come up that ridge, not too many of them coming up the ridge, and a lot of them dying to those SCV rushes. Gonna lose a lot of these tanks, especially once these units drop in. But actually, quite a lot of forces dead here. So C might actually come out with a comfortable lead, at least the better economic trade-off in terms of units. So we'll now at a range, but he's gonna send in those vultures most likely and just rush those tanks and that lone Goliath. Why is there 2 command centers there? And a second. So Light actually doubling up, and C both doubling up their command centers at the outside the protect natural. So they're gonna fly over to some base. I'm not sure which. So indeed, now you can see with first-person mode, it looks like 1 or I'm not sure. I think it's 4 or 5 bases. He's got his main is natural. It looks like the mineral only outside his main, as well as that sort of inner 3 o'clock, as well as the inner 6 o'clock, but I'm not sure. And it looks like Light has 4 bases. He does indeed has captured that 5 o'clock position, the natural of the 6 o'clock. I thought for a while he had it, but I guess now it's finally confirmed. This mini map is sort of hard to look at. But anyways, these tanks are pushing out here now. I'm going to recapture this ridge. I'm quite impressed by the play here. It's the first game was rather sluggish. A lot of fights over the middle, but that was because it's Zodiac. And Blue Storm was, again, also a lot of fights over the middle. I guess this map is a lot of fights over the middle. And a GG here from C. I'm not sure what he saw. I guess it was just the tanks, and he didn't feel he could keep up economically. I'm not sure if he scanned all those locations and saw the bases, but oh well, a GG here from C, and Light does take the series, so he wins 2-1, and he'll be advancing to the round of 8, and I hope you enjoyed the match.